Two Flint firefighters who issued an all clear during a house fire in late May never searched a room on the second floor where two children were who later died. Okay? Okay. Now, according to the fire chief, Raymond Barton in Flint, Zaire Mitchell, 11, and Lamar Mitchell, 9, were left in heat and heavy smoke for roughly 7 minutes after the all clear was announced. Then the secondary sweep came through, and they found them, and they were alive. And they died 2 days later. So you know what 7 minutes means, don't you? Yeah, he's shaking his head, man. Wow. Now, here's the deal. According to Barton's report, both of the firefighters gave false accounts of their actions that day, May 28th. Says a lieutenant who was investigating that there was no way the firefighters performed the search, that they entered the bedroom where the victims were found. The report says one of the boys was found immediately inside the bedroom door and would have been found if anybody had opened the goddamn door. The second brother was found on top of the bed in the same room with folded clothes. The bed was made. You know, as a firefighter, you go in that room, you flip the matches. Is that right, brother? That's basic firefighter hero shit. You want to get the fuck out of there, you know. But that's basic hero stuff. House collapsed on you, didn't it? You were searching, weren't you? I can't wait to have you on here, man. I want to get through this, though, because, you know, night and day, because we support you. But we don't support lying and not doing the job. They even had the infrared thing. You would have found him. You would have found him, he said.
So they weren't looking.
They didn't open the door.
That's...
He said people open the door. It's like those night vision goggles, people. Like you open the door, you're going to see them. You didn't open the door, and that's what the chief found. The chief wrote, both firefighters neglected to perform the task of completing a sweep of the second floor. Such neglect resulted in factually incorrect calls being made, stating that the second floor sweep was negative and to cancel the other trucks en route. Furthermore, he wrote, the chief, due to the nature of the incident and the actions or lack of action possibly contributing to the loss of the life of the two boys, I have determined to terminate both. But they haven't been terminated. One was allowed to resign, and he's a union official. I believe we'll ask the councilman. He is now working in another department. And the other firefighter was suspended 2 weeks without pay, and he's back working now. Is that correct, Councilman Mays?
I'm hearing that, and I'm also hearing that the mayor gave an order to reverse the fire chief ordered to fire them because he didn't want it to come out during his election. That's what I'm looking at, concerned about.
Priorities.
So the mayor decided he didn't. I don't know. I think I would appreciate a mayor more that had a backbone and was looking out for the children of my community.
2 kids are dead.
Here, let me do this. Let's hear from last night at the long and laborious 6-hour Flint City Council meeting. This was the mother of the 2 children. I want to say the names again.
Yeah, her name is Crystal Cooper.
Zaire and Lamar Mitchell, 11 and 9 years old.
Yeah, here's the mom.
They committed a crime. For them to say they searched a house and they really didn't search a house. For them to be able to be suspended with pay. They didn't do no, they wasn't dealt with properly. They essential worker, I'm an essential worker. And I feel like they didn't hold their end of what they signed up to do as far as being a firefighter. I can't get my kids back. Nothing to bring them back. But I don't want this to happen to nobody else. And The fact that they didn't do their job and they thought about, they lied several times. They need to be held accountable for their actions.
Eric?
Yeah, I'm here.
Well, you're a bigwig there. You're in the city council. What's next? You hear that woman? She's speaking for all of us. She doesn't want it to. That's my sister. She doesn't want it to happen to me.
Yeah, well, based upon the information that we're getting and the direct communications from the fire chief, he seems to say that he had ordered them terminated for what they did and didn't do. And he had to leave and go out of town. And the human relations director said to us directly that the city attorney answered directly to the mayor, came and told them to reverse the termination charge. And we've got another incident with an alleged police chase. It seems to be a pattern that this mayor is issuing orders for folks not to do stuff to let these stories come out because he's in the middle of a November election, and I find that appalling, real appalling, if it's true.
Well, look, you know, we love Flint. You know that. We try to keep tabs. We try to get up there. I know this. You don't have enough police. Some of them drive around in a cruiser with no computer and no radio. I know you got a shift of cops having to, what's the word? Ration tasers. There's not a taser per cop. What happened to that, what was it, $94 million in COVID money that President Biden said should be put towards public safety? Where the fuck is it?
That money have set part of it, $47 million, for over a year, and we're approaching 2 years on the second $47 million. And what I'm noticing, Charlie, when you talk about the battery type factory, what I'm noticing with that $94 million, when the big shots, I'm gonna call it, come in and reach their hand out for money, $16 million to the land bank, the Ashley Capital firm that wanna put some up to 33,000 jobs on the old Buick City General Motors side.
Up
They
to.
cough that money out. But when it comes to public safety, when it comes to residents who qualify for roofs on their houses and so forth and so on, nothing moves. And so that's what's also appalling to me. We have money sitting in our banking account to fix that police department, fix that fire department, and you got folks playing political football with those dollars. And everything seemed to be self-centered on certain politicians with a lack of knowledge or ignorance, trying to do something for themselves and their family to try to get reelected and have really not done anything to help the people.
What a game. What a fucking hustle.
None of this makes any sense.
Remember
And
the
you
guy?
can't get the mainstream media to pick up on these
Right,
stories.
dude.
That's what's also appalling.
Dude, this should be, look, this should be a national story. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking, I called the former fire commissioner of Detroit, right? Eric Jones, said, what would you do on this? And he said, they'd be gone. They'd be fired. And we were talking, he goes, do you remember the two little boys in Grosse Pointe 3 years ago in 2019? They died in a house fire. Okay? And it's horrible. It's horrible. And that was international news. Mm-hmm. Okay, that was international news, and that had nothing. That was a toaster. That was a toaster. This was a electric switch. I think that's what they're saying, right? An electrical problem in the living
Yeah,
room.
faulty electric.
But that went international, and this one gets no notice. And I would like to remember the boys. Christ, I don't even know if I wrote their names down. I'm thinking of them, though. I'm thinking of them. But I know this.
Well, I was standing outside.
Let me
of
say
that
this,
house.
Eric, before I forget
Yeah.
it. I know this. It was a tragedy. The community, the media, they all came together. What happened in Flint, okay, so in that case in Grosse Pointe, the dad went to work, first day on the job. Mom was running an errand. Everybody was sad. In Flint, the father came home directly, and he was put in handcuffs and put in the back of the car and going to be taken downtown for neglect and abuse of leaving two kids alone. You see what I'm saying here?
Mm-hmm. I see exactly what
I
you're
mean,
saying.
we all matter.
But to whom? That's the question, Charlie. Who do we matter to? To whom do we matter?
You know what I hear a lot? Charlie LeDuff newsman, I thought you were dead. I'm not dead. I'm doing the news, the real news, right here, the No BS News Hour. You can find us on YouTube, you can find us on Facebook, Odyssey, or download it wherever you get your podcasts. Power the people.